While there are a lot of conversations about machine learning, automation, artificial intelligence, and that these are going to take away the jobs for tomorrow, you and I need to pick up essential skills which will help us to be relevant for tomorrow. Now, today I want to talk about 5 essential soft skills that we need to be good at. First one of them is creativity. When a 4-year-old child is asked to draw on a piece of paper, they don't say that I'm not good at drawing. While if you say the same thing to an adult, they'd probably say that this is not my thing, this is not something that I'm good at. Creativity as a skill is really underrated. It's all about finding the right solutions. It's all about thinking of smarter and faster ways of doing something. It's all about coming up with original and creative ideas. In fact, creativity fosters innovation. Now, how do you become more creative? By practicing and exercising your brain. And one of the great ways of doing it is to practice writing. If you have a pen, a piece of paper, and if you know your language, you're already a good writer. Research suggests that writing activates the cerebral cortex of our brain, which stands for paying attention and being agile. In fact, it creates an activity in a bunch of our cells, which is also called the reticular activating system, which makes us more alert and conscious. Creativity is all about a figment of your imagination. You can think and you can be creative. The second most important skill that I want to talk to you about is critical thinking. Not thinking, but critical thinking. Critical thinking is all about asking questions and asking the right question. Why is this true? Why is this not true? Am I being biased? Do I need to remove the biases from this? For instance, if there is something like these are the key points, so which are the sources that these key points are coming in from? Am I weighing down upon the witnesses enough? This is exactly how a judge acts in a court of law, and then you come up with your own individual opinion. To be a critical thinker, you need to be adaptive, you need to be reflective, and you need to be creative. You need to have your mind switched on all the time and to be able to think very, very objectively. Peter Drucker said that effective action is followed by quiet reflection, and after quiet reflection comes an even more effective action. The third skill that you need to pay attention to is emotional intelligence. That is, how are you more intelligent emotionally? It's about managing and discerning your own emotions so that you're able to nurture your relationships. IQ is something that's fixed, but EQ is something that can be developed over a period of time. In fact, EQ plays so much of a role that almost it is 58% responsible for success at any job. EQ is all about stepping into someone else's shoes, and if you cannot think that why do people do what they do, why do they act the way they do, you'd never be able to build good relationships. An example of this is Indra Nooyi, who's the CEO of PepsiCo for more than a decade now. Every single year she writes down letters, and 400 of them to her senior management, talking about why they're great for the organization, why they're a gift to an organization, what they're doing. It's a delight for their parents and for them, and that all comes from all the soft stuff that she has, which is why she still gets very high approval ratings as a CEO. The fourth skill that I want to talk to you about is leadership. Today, we're producing more supervisors and managers rather than leaders. There are 2 qualities that a leader should have. First quality is to be a visionary. Second is to have a service mindset. Ever since we are born, we're taught to look 50 days ahead and not to see for 50 years. We're trained to take care of our own needs and requirements and not think about the world in general, which is why this concept of self-interest also translates into our leadership. We cannot see ahead of our times. We only think about our own needs and requirements, and we're not willing to solve the problems of the world. This is bad leadership. Leadership is about constantly evolving yourself and of elevating yourself as a human being as well. And the fifth and the last skill that I want to talk to you about is intellectual curiosity. Are you curious enough to know things that you're not required to know of? While as a kid we really read a lot, but when we become adults, our knowledge is restricted to our area of work. Do we read up more? Do we want to find out more? Do we ask questions? Are we really curious to know about a lot of stuff? That is what intellectual curiosity is all about. Knowledge, in fact, opens up neural pathways into our brain, which makes us and increases our ability to learn even more.